Discussions in the past week have been dominated by the nationwide protests. What more? There are various issues the demonstrations generated through the period and beyond. Today we talk about the counter-protests, the violent aspect to the exercise, the various approaches by the security agents, and lots more. What cannot be disputed is the fact that majority of the key actors in all of this are Nigerian youth. On this note, we welcome you to this episode of the show, the Sunday show on African Independent Television, AIT. Lots more awaits you. I am Obi Ajuriwe, and my anchor is here today, Marquin Joseph. Good morning.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you.
How has your week been?
Beautiful. Yes, it's been stress-free.
All right, we indeed appreciate your being there for us. We are gradually and steadily making the impact we are set to make. On the protest, we acknowledge that some persons lost their lives during the process, and we seize this opportunity to condole with relatives of victims and pray their souls find eternal rest.
Amen. Clearly, in the dynamic landscape of Nigeria's future, which the genuine protesters claim they want the government to get right, the empowerment of the nation's youth remains the fundamental pillar for development. This takes us to the discussion on Nigeria youth and entrepreneurship as a means of curtailing the high level of unemployment across the nation.
When they say an idle mind is the devil's workshop, it may not really be far from the truth. We take example of the Nigerian elections. Is it possible to engage a youth who is an entrepreneur or gainfully employed as a political thug? It's a big question. Take a look at the protests as well. Can a self-employed youth participate in violence, talking about demonstrations that are violent, or be hired to take part in the exercise? The answer will definitely be a loud no.
We shall try as much as possible to dissect the issues surrounding the Nigerian youths and their engagement in entrepreneurial ventures, the challenges, the gains, and the ills associated with it. A seasoned medical doctor, turned businessman, and experienced entrepreneur will be joining us, and is no less a personality than Dr. Femi, Olorunfemi.
In the meantime, let's refresh our memories with the items on the news in the past week. We shall also hear what the youths talking about the streets are saying in respect to Nigerian youths and entrepreneurship.
I want to say it, the country is really, really stagnant, more especially in Nigeria. Because the reason why I said so is because other countries are moving forward while Nigeria, we are still stagnant. Because with the current hardship that is going on in the country, a lot of things have changed. The prices of things are no longer stable. Price of things every day it keeps going high. Even here in Benimed Pharmacy and Store, we no longer sell like before because of the prices of goods, the prices of items. You buy something today, you sell after going back to replace. The price have changed. So it's seriously affecting Nigerians. Nigerians are really in pain because the hardship is really, really much. First of all, the price, like if I'm talking about the electricity tariff, like now we have been spending much on electricity. It's not like before. Ever since they moved us to Band A, we spent like 150,000 naira for maybe 2 or 3 days. And if there's no light, I happen to go and get a petrol of almost 15,000 naira for a day. So you see, if you can put all this together, you now discover that Nigerians are really, really in pain. They are going through a lot because of the hardship. I'm pleading with Mr. President, I'm pleading with the presidency that please, they should look over or they should look into the matters because seriously, Nigerians are in pain. Nigerians are crying out there. A lot of people cannot even afford, in fact, 2 square milk. Let me not even go there. 1 square milk at times, a lot of people cannot afford. So, Mr. President, Mr. Governors, because I'm not going to make mention of the president alone, because our governors, our councillors, our House of Representatives, our senators, please, let's join hands and make sure we tackle this problem because it's really, really getting out of hand. Please, government, please look into this matter and so that at least Nigeria will be better again.
I enjoy doing business, and the benefit of owning business myself, it made me, at least I have employment, I'm self-employed, takes care of my bills and every other thing. It gives me enough time to rest or even take vacations most times. That's the benefit of me owning my own business. But the challenge is now is money. The money we use in the running business now is not enough to stock up shop anymore. Things are very, very expensive now. Things are high. Imagine a bag of garri for 90,000, and I just bought a bag of rice today for 77,000. And I started this business 5 years ago. A bag of rice was just 28, 26,000 naira, and now it has rise to 77,000 naira. If I start talking about other things, we'll not live here today. So, cost of buying things is on a very high side.
The benefit of having a business or being a business owner in Nigeria as a young person is that you have the freedom to do what you want to do. And the issues we face about having businesses in Nigeria is the current economic situation, the currency devaluation, and the effects, unstable FX rates. It really affects us. I am a travel and educational consultant, and the FX has really been an issue for clients lately, and it has reduced the amount of clients we do get. So that's one of the major issues we're facing currently as business owners in the country.
All right, we've heard the voice from the streets right about now. And one thing is for sure that Nigerians, young Nigerians to be precise, have that entrepreneurial spirit and they absolutely love what they do, whether it's selling clothes, being travel agents, big scale, small scale. They absolutely love working for themselves and taking care of their families. We've heard the benefits and the downside to being, young entrepreneurs in current day Nigeria. The name is Chooks, and we're taking you back to the studio.
The lack of access to funding, poor infrastructure, corruption, and limited access to market share of the challenges faced by entrepreneurship in Nigeria. How about insecurity? It's still the Sunday show on Africa Independent Television, AIT, and today we have a seasoned medical doctor, businessman, and of course an experienced entrepreneur, Dr. Bumi Olorunfemi. Good morning and welcome on the show. It is the Sunday show. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, today we are looking at youth and entrepreneurship. First of all, I want to begin with this. Poor transport system and ailing infrastructure in Nigeria are major setbacks to many entrepreneurs, their businesses, and also struggle for power outages. I don't know if you are facing that, but we're going to look at that shortly. Every year, the Nigerian universities churn out graduates. And of course, you saw what happened during the protest. I'm sure you saw some of the visuals. If these young people are gainfully employed or engaged, will they come out to the streets and do some of those destructions that took place during the protest? How can we engage the youth of Nigeria meaningfully? Over to you, Doctor.
Good. Thank you for having me once again. Good morning, Nigerians. Yes, it's quite unfortunate, really, the situation we find ourselves with our youth on the streets. Those are loads of them unemployed, and not for lack of effort, but practically because the jobs are not there. But it has to be said that it's not everybody that will get a white collar job. There are always different opportunities across the world. There are opportunities in agriculture, construction, different sectors. And it's about are the youths, are they aware of these opportunities? And the opportunities, is there enough advertisement? Is there enough national awareness being created for the youths to be aware? For them to have equal chances of securing these opportunities, and the skills as well needed to obtain these opportunities in different areas of endeavors like construction, building, agriculture, and the skill sets. We have different, I mean, a lot of us go to universities and believe that that's the only way to make a living, but there are other levels of education as well. The colleges, the technical colleges, the polytechnics, and the vocational training, apprenticeship. So those are all ways to make sure that every Nigerian has an opportunity.
Does the technical colleges still exist in Nigeria?
They still do. I'm sure that there still have some technical colleges that are functioning better there. So they go different training opportunities there. Their graduates can perform in different areas of vocational training. So yes, people need to be aware that those opportunities are there and they acquire those skills for them to be gainfully employed. And there are many ways that leads to the market, not just one way. So you can be a bricklayer and still make a good living. You can be an electrician and still make a good living. You can be a farmer and in agriculture. There are different aspects of agriculture which we'll be talking about. But so there are the opportunities are there for you to make a decent living and something out of your life.
That brings me to asking you, how did you get into food processing? I know you as a medical doctor and a very experienced one at that. Tell Nigerians how you navigated, and you're still practicing the medicine, and you have a food processing factory here in Nigeria. How do you battle power outages?
Yes. Thank you very much. As a little boy, I mean, my parents are farmers. Grew up in the village until when I was like 10 years old before I left for the city. And every year I would return home to visit the village, to the farm with my parents. My dad is late, but my mom is still alive. So I follow my dad to the farm, so I'm kind of trained. I'm aware of them, but I think So my mom also was involved in agriculture where she was providing funds for farmers in our local cooperative way. She provided money for farmers. And then at the end of the harvest, they pay her back with their goods. For example, a rice farmer will give us we come and borrow money that I want to farm rice and then borrow money from them. And then we have an agreement that when the harvest is ripe, and then we pay with rice to her, and then she will process it. So she does that to different kind of farmers. So in a way, I'm kind of exposed to the agricultural community. Because that is how I grew up before I went to become a doctor. So I'm still quite connected to
The farming aspect.
yes.
So for how long have you been into this processing, food processing in Nigeria? And what are some of the products in the lineup of your business?
Officially, we got involved about 5 years ago now. And it was not really, that was not the original intention.
Okay.
Just elaborate a little bit. So I'm a qualified doctor consultant. So I wanted a way to kind of support my graduates. And my focus was in schools, those are the primary schools especially. So I wanted to support them with sporting activities and all sorts. So I sent people to investigate for me. Why are people not doing dance sport in primary schools in my village? And they told me that the parents could not afford the sport wears. So I kind of, okay, well, how come they can't afford it? I know they are very hardworking. They are farmers. They follow our farming community. Everybody has a farm. They are working. So how come they can't afford sport wears and send to the school? But there's something was wrong. So started debating. And well, I supported them for the entire sport. To the grace of God, was supporting about 4 primary schools now with the house sports nearly at least. Which have been going successfully.
That's
So when I
huge.
say, well,
I said that's huge.
yes, well, we thank God for His grace. God has been helping us. So that's the other arm of it. There's the POF Foundation. That was how we started. And then we started organizing agri business workshop. Because one thing that became obvious was that people were not really looking into agriculture as a business. The local farmers, they farm for food primarily, and then whatever is left, they sell a little bit of it. So they know the original intention was not really to as a business. So we said, okay, how do we promote agriculture as a business? And this will also affect our youth so that they can become more interested. Because the average youth in the village, they look down on agriculture as a poor man's work, cutlass at home, very laborious, time consuming. For they've seen their parents as poor farmers. That's what they call them. So they don't want to go into that because your parents are peasant farmers. They send you to university, stay to study. So returning back to the farm is not something that is favorably looked on. So we now set up to the well. We started organizing agri business workshops where we expose different types of agriculture and different kind of people involved in agriculture. And that is not just about growing crops. You have the production stage, the marketing, advertisement. They are part of it, and the industrialization as well comes in. So we are doing that, and then we provided some funds for local farmers to raise their output. And then the question now arose as to when they produce this, most of them express their interest in cassava, maize, and all that. So when they produce this cassava, what's going to happen to it? So that's where the idea of the food processing factory came about.
Wow.
So we decided to settle the factory so that we can. So the farmers will know that, okay, when we produce, the farmer that was producing 1 acre of land, no one knows that there's a factory that will take it from him if he produces 5 acres.
Because I wanted to
So
ask, how do you get your materials, your raw materials to do your production? But go ahead with your responses.
yes, we do what we do is that we sourcing from the local farmers. We intentionally did not go into cultivating farms ourselves because the main objective is to wealth creation among the farmers and to expose the business side of things, that agriculture can be a successful business. So we encourage the local farmers to produce, and we made them aware that we are available as a factory to take it from them and harvest. So what we done initially for the first year or two, it was difficult for us to get enough cassava to process. We had to move around, travel around and eat. But gradually, the local farmers begin to trust us. So I believe so. They are not coming to us to sell to us, and then I believe some of them have increased their acreage or what they cultivate, so they now have enough. I mean, as of last week, a single farmer came to sell about 500,000 worth of cassava to us. Single farmer. So in the village there.
A young person.
Yeah. Yes.
So how can we, looking at what you do, how you started, and where you are today, how can we encourage more young people to come into farming or going back to the land? How can we do that? In which way can the government also help you, the private sector, to better our tomorrow?
Yes, thank you very much for the question. I think the narrative needs to change from just agricultural farming to agribusiness. I will tell you, for example, now, in my factory, we have factory manager as an MBA.
Whoa.
Yes, the quality control officer has a degree, a postgraduate degree in food processing. One of the production managers also has a master's degree in agriculture. So we have different levels of people. I mean, we have a marketing manager as well, who has a degree in marketing and finance.
Putting people where their strength is.
Absolutely. So there are different sectors in the business chain. People can get involved. So we have transporters that we hire when we need to transport goods. We have drivers that we employ. So, and then we also have young people, okay, they are primarily in, because in the rural community, people can, they are all trained farmers, to be specific, they are all trained farmers, they know it. Just that, so they can get involved anytime they want, if they can see that there's prospect in it. So, but these ones that go to school to study finance, to study marketing, they can still have a role to play in the agribusiness chain. So, the ones that want to go to farm, we encourage them, we give loans to them, grants rather, interest-free grants for them to cultivate to manage their farms.
Like seriously?
And the harvest, they come and sell to us. We pay them at market rate. We tell them that whatever the market rate is at the time of your harvest, we pay it to you, and we do that. And even when the costs have gone up, astronomically now, we still pay them the market rate. We make sure they get the market rate. So everybody is happy. And so our unit, the story narrative is to change. Agriculture is not just about farming, and it's not just about cutlass and hoe. Mechanization can come in. I believe that is where the government needs to come in. I believe in terms of more provision of information to the country, to the youth, training them in business management as well, aspect of things. And then I believe that the government needs to go down to the grassroots, to our local governments, the agric department. The agric department needs to be well funded so that they can provide machineries for farmers, farm chemicals that will be needed, and all kind of agricultural inputs at discounted rates. So subsidized rate at that level. Because the farmers know where the local government headquarters are in everywhere, they know. So each one, they know where they are. Most of those local government headquarters are only for administrative purposes. They are doing nothing really. How they just collecting salaries and things like that. Apologies to my colleagues there.
No, go
But,
ahead. You're saying it the way it is.
yeah, so if those local government level can be empowered to set up and strengthen the agricultural department, with the extension organs, with business development department, with quality advisors, and then the equipment are stationed there, the farmers can go there. Because it's not only farmers that should be able to afford a tractor by themselves, which is not possible. The people are not able to afford it. So they can go there and know they're going to get the right kind of agricultural machineries, discounted rates, subsidized rates. And if they need any fertilizer, any pesticide, any pet harvester, things like they can get it at subsidized rate. So that will create a lot of our youth in the rural communities, and even one of the urban centers can come in to support and to partake of that, really. So there's a lot of opportunities there if we're harnessed. Of course, in terms of infrastructure provision, good roads to our local communities as well, very important. And then should the fact is electricity, where which are all very important in terms of for us as a food processor. We need
Dr. Olorunfemi, in the
yes,
course of your business, how
yes,
have you tackled, how did you cope with power outages, insecurity, and all of that?
yes. I will start with thank you. I will start with power outages. Well, we where our factory is located, we have to connect our area to the grid, I mean to the electricity supply chain. We bought poles, we bought wires, we then got the electricity supplier to connect for us. But there's no power. There's no power in it. So we've not really enjoyed it at all. It's not all the money we spend to connect ourselves to the electricity supply. So we mostly depend on the diesel and petrol, which has gone up astronomically. I mean, but if you last year we were buying diesel for about 600 naira per liter. Now it's about 1,006. So it's quite a lot of money in the villages to buy. Petrol has gone up as well. So, and that takes a lot of our cost, in addition to the increasing cost of raw materials. And that's where security comes in. Of course, in terms of the energy supply, we are looking at solar in a way now. We want to install solar powered panels. Then we are changing most of our fryer, because we have automated fryer and dryer, changing them to gas, which is more available, which is a bit more environmental friendly as well. So we are changing to gas. At the moment, we install gas burners in all our systems to reduce the cost of diesel and petrol. And we are going to install solar system as well for battery.
In all of this, how do you think the young person who just graduated from the university, how are they going to have the funds to begin from somewhere?
I think it's about, yes, the funding is very important, but from my experience, funding is not everything. People can get involved at the level at which they are able to work. Because setting up a factory, setting up a production company itself, you have to, it's financially demanding, but that's our time as well. So that needs to be factored in. And but with the bank, if you go to the bank, the interest rate is quite astronomical. So I thank God for the provision that God has given me. So, kind of backward integration. So I've largely depended on my own resources. I've borrowed any money from any bank, so I can sleep in peace, not worrying about interest rates. So God has helped me in that regard. And so the fund should be made available, but the one that the CPN is providing to farmers, I'm not convinced that it's getting to where it's needed. I don't know the presence of CPN in my local government. So, and I don't think the CPN CPN can reach all the nooks and crannies of the country. So there's a need for decentralization to the local level, local government level, state level, government level needs to be more active in the provision of financial support, not only financial support, training in agribusiness. Because there are many people who, before I started, I had to get a consultant who supported me. I sent my workers for training in their establishments before we started. So, and I'm glad now the local university, the Federal University of AIT, approached us that they want to collaborate with us. But yes, finance is very important, but acquiring the requisite competence and management skills and technical skills is very, very important as well. People should be able
How
to
patient do you think the young people are in this era of barbecued, microwaved, everything? They want it now. How patient? Because you started you started gradually from the medical practice into food processing, and you have outlined how you started. Now, today you have the opportunity to talk to the Nigerian youth. How are you going to engage them? Where will they start from? How do they begin?
Yes, I think what we are doing today is part of that exposure. Knowing that I took my heart for Nigerian youths. They are very resilient. They are very hardworking.
Thank you for that.
Yes, so I think they just want to know that there's an opportunity there and that it is doable. That's what they want to do. And then there's somebody to support them. Then they start. Most of my people are working here are youths, and they are graduates, master's degree, and they didn't have any job. So by the time we employ them to approach them, and they were quite happy to work with us. I would have just hoped that one day I'll be able to pay them a lot of money, their salaries and all that. But they are working tirelessly, diligently, and salute all the BOF staff for your diligence and hard work. So our youths are there. They're not lazy. Go to the rural community, go to the towns. They are there. They want opportunities, and but I think if the opportunities they are provided for them to train, maybe when they are doing the training, some allowances are provided for them, and they should know that irrespective of what you have studied, you can always make a way. You can always have an opportunity to diversify, to engage in entrepreneurial activities and business activities, including agriculture. It is there. Although I must say that we've had issues with security in our community and most rural communities in Nigeria. So that has been a hindrance to a discouragement to the local traditional farmers and the youths. There's a lot of hazard really. So going to the farm can be life-threatening sometimes. So that has also affected the output, and the price of our raw materials have gone up astronomically, mostly because of insecurity. Actually, and from 40,000 per ton of cassava now we are paying almost 150,000 naira per ton, because the cassava, there's no a month we couldn't get any cassava because nobody wants to go to the farm because of insecurity. So that's a big factor. Young people don't want to go and risk their life in the farm, or anyone to go and market them or do them. They will rather stay at home. So the government needs to come in and provide adequate security, local security levels. So there's a limit to what the federal government can do, but the federal government needs to allow the state and the local government to have the freedom to safeguard their community. The state and the local government, they know their people more than the federal government. They know where they should be appealing. They're paying the people. They know what people are capable of. They know what the needs of this community are. So I think that's something that the government should do.
Beautiful. We will take a short break and then show Nigerians what you do. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. It's still the Sunday show, and you're listening to Dr. Bunmi Olorunfemi, and he's letting it out on how he, from medical doctor and still practicing, into food processing and all of that. You talked about the security and cost of production and how the young people can be taken back to the land. You talked about how much the government should do in terms of state government and local government. But we're all busy up here blaming the federal government for everything that is wrong. So how can we start asking or demanding a better living, a better governance from our governors and then the local government chairman to ensure that our young people don't remain the way they are today?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think it's a structural issue. Really. For example, one of the major issues now affecting rural communities is security. And you and I know that the federal government has a responsibility for security. The police is federal police. I mean, it's federal army. And so, even in our own local area, there employee guards, they cannot carry weapons, they cannot do anything. So, so the state government and the rural and the local government are quite powerless when it comes to security in a way. Although there are some things they can do, yes, but uh, people have been clamoring for state police. I think I'm in full support of state police, devolution of power to my level, with adequate safeguard in place. The state governors, state police service commission have been established. State governors can make their input just to make sure that the police are independent of executive control and command, but the state police are independent. And so I think people are afraid of abuse, but the same situation that we apply to the federal government. But it's very obvious that the policing system is not working. The insecurity is rife. Nobody can go to their farm safely. But like I said, my local chief king was ordered by suspected killer recently. So it's quite sad, really. People are afraid to go to the farm. So basically, the local government, there's this for structural change in terms of distribution of responsibilities. The state and local government are rightfully they are closer to the people. They know the needs of the local communities. They know the needs of kindness. There's no how much of village does the federal government use. They don't know anywhere. Yeah. But the local government, they've been in contact with us. The state government, they know where we are. But the federal government, they don't know where we are. So the federal government needs to allow the state and local government to perform some of the lot of the responsibilities. And that can only happen by legislation, by amendment of our laws to allow that. So, and then even the funding, the federal government says they are funding agriculture. And they know the farmers. We are the farmers. Most of the people that are getting loans are civil servants, federal civil servants, and their cronies who know people who have connections. The real farmers in the community don't even know that the federal government is giving anything. They don't know. So there's a need to structural change. Cities now running down money. I mean, that's why you can see the trillions of naira that the federal government says they are spending on education. They don't see any impact because that's the way it's going to be. It's money thrown down the drain, really, because it's not going to get to the real people that they need to devolve the power to the state and the government to allow them to function.
Thank
because
you.
they are closer to the people.
Thank you, Dr. Laurenfemi. The government needs to devolve power. Thank you so much for being our guest today. That is where we leave it at this point. Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you very much.
Do have a beautiful week ahead.
Thank you. God bless.
Grab your seats and join us on the most fascinating 60-minute infotainment journey, showing on your favorite TV channel, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Analysis on topical national issues, news, sports, and entertainment are on the menu. It's a show you do not want to miss. It is The Sunday Show.
Well, that was quite an insightful session with our renowned and astute businessman. I am sure we have been able to open new chapters and perspectives to entrepreneurship in Nigeria. Despite the underlying and persistent challenges, just take a step of faith today and don't be bothered by the routine challenges that come with the process, because they say it's always very difficult, but then stay focused and you'll definitely get to the top.
It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a man or a woman denied of opportunity of leading his people to get justice in our court today. That is why, with profound respect to politicians gathered here, election in Nigeria has assumed the do or die affairs. Just go and win. I think the kind of electoral judgment from our court, which in most cases are devoid of justice, has made many people to lose hope in the potential of good and purpose of justice and democracy in Nigeria. Any justice that does not produce proportional fairness and quality justice to the vast majority of the people in the society cannot be described as justice. In any society where only the very few enjoyed arid-colored quick justice dished out by those who are paid to give pure, unadulterated justice cannot enjoy peace. And I'm sure that's why peace is eluding us. There are many laws in Nigeria to give pure, unadulterated quick electoral justice to Nigerian people. But these laws are being administered in most cases with very bad motive. As it is anything, the hope of Nigerian judiciary appears to be dwindling in geometrical proportion. Many people are openly expressing frustration that there is nothing good that will come out of the judiciary again. As a strong believer in the integrity and impartiality of our judicial institution, I still have hope that our judiciary are not deaf and dumb to appreciate the need to ensure that the right things are done. The facts of rascality of our political actors are too notorious for the judiciary to ignore it, as is being presently done. The duty of the judiciary is to hold wrongdoers and evildoers accountable. But where evildoers and wrongdoers are celebrated and installed, then there is no accountability. And that is why, with profound respect to my national chairman and the leaders that are here, Nigerian politicians are far too removed from the people. And that is the reason the judiciary was given responsibility to hold you accountable. But unfortunately, it appears that if you can't beat them, you must join them. Should we join them in the legal profession? I do not think so. I ask questions. Are Nigerian politicians actually ready for democracy? They are not. Because Nigerian politicians are not interested in democratic principle. They are interested, and I have said, and let me say it here without any fear of contradiction, that there is no difference between all the Nigerian political parties. The only difference is in opportunity. Once upon a time was a political party called APC outside of power, and PDP was a bad political party. They sang songs of their purity and piousness, how they would do what they needed to do in less than 6 months. Nigeria will be a rado, everything will be fine. Then the opportunity came. Now we are making excuses. And there is virtually no one, except very few, and with profound respect and apologies to the national chairman of APC, there has never been a PDP. And so when I see Nigerian leaders passing bulk that it is the past government, I do not see any reason why you should say so. Because there is nobody in the present government that has never been part and parcel of the government that put us in this program. They all are there, either in the Senate or in the House of Representatives. So my submission to us therefore this morning is that for politicians in Nigeria to be held accountable, Nigerian judicial officers and legal practitioners must avoid mingling with politicians.
This is where they draw the curtain on the show for today, and we urge you to keep a date with us next week. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be the best you can, and remember to treat others the way you would like to be treated. Have a great week ahead, and
Be the best you can be and
That's
treat
it.
others the way you like to be treated.
Yes.
This is a very, very important message, and I think it's
The
we
payoff was
should,
beautiful.
we should always take it with us.
So
I want
when
to,
are you- when
I
are
want
you-
to
are you
put the
taking me
message.
out?
I want to put the message in my pocket. I will take it away. Then I will take you out.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I know
Look
that's
at me
what you want to
blushing.
hear.
I'm blushing purple.
See you next week. Have a wonderful time.
Bye-bye now.